Welcome back. Here we are with 709, option 1, task number 3. In this one, they say that you're busy building a community that designs homes with pools. The number of homes within each community is 6 more than the number of communities. So here we have one community right here. So this is one community, this is 2 communities, this is 3 communities, 4, 5. I don't know how many we have, that's why I have the X or the dot here. So if we read the instructions though, it gives us some hints as to what we're supposed to do. Let me read them to you. It says the number of homes within each community is 6 more than the number of communities. Well, let's just say, since we don't know how many communities we're talking about, let's just call it X. We have X number of communities. Here I drew out the first 5 of them, and I'm thinking that each community, like if I were to look at like this first community, let me erase the number 1, that community would have, small houses. I'm just going to draw them with circles. There's roads and everything like that, and we don't know how many of that is either, but they have small houses in there. I drew 5 communities, but there's X number of them. It says the number of homes within each community is 6 more than the number of communities. So the number of homes in each community, here I drew them as circles in here, but they're not obviously circles, but the number of homes is 6 more than the number of communities. The number of communities is X, and the number of homes must be 6 more than that. So the number of homes is X plus 6. So far so good. Easy, huh? Okay, so I had to write it a little bit smaller. And then the number of hours it says here, the number of hours that will be required to build each home is double the number of homes in the community. So we know we're going to have to do something with the number of homes in the community. It says double that, so we're going to have some sort of number up here that multiplies to come up with it. I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to tell you right now there's some number that goes right here. Let me draw it in a different color just so we're clear here. Oops. The number it goes right here. There's a number right there. There's a multiplier, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. That's up for you to figure out. So in task 3A, it says we already know X represents the number of communities, so that's the first one. Determine the 2 other expressions used to represent the number of homes. Well, I just gave you that one. That one's right there. And then it says and the number of hours to build each home. Okay, so that's that one right there. So now we're on to task 3B. It says, and then to make this probably a little bit easier, what I would do for the hours is I would go ahead and distribute this number out through this thing over here. It's going to make the rest of the equation easier to deal with. So don't leave it as a number times X plus 6. Actually distribute that out and you're going to come up with a whole other polynomial. And then on 3b, it says, using the 3 expressions, interpret the meaning of each grouping of factors as a single unit and also simplify expression by finding their product. So what does it mean? X we know means the number of communities. Okay, that's an easy one. X times X plus 6. Well, if you look back here, X plus 6 was the number of homes in a community. So the number of homes here is X plus 6. If we take X and multiply the number of communities, what is that going to give us? I'm not going to tell you what that is, but you need to come up with just an easy answer. It's just a word answer, what that means. And I also want you to write this down. Don't just leave me with just one-word answers. The more you write down, the better. Make it simple, but don't make it so that I have to guess what you're answering, okay? The last one is whatever this number is right down here, times the number of hours. What does this mean? This number times that number, the 2 polynomials, but what does that number mean? Is it the number of grapefruits that are growing in Florida? Is it the number of streets in this community? Is it, what does that number represent? I think if you think about it, you'll come up with the correct answer. It also asks you to find the product. So even after you give me your word answer over here, I want an actual product over here also. Let me erase this and give myself a little bit more room. So what I want you to do is multiply these two things together. Come up with an answer for a polynomial, and then maybe a semicolon. Then I need some words over here that tells me exactly what that polynomial represents. And the same thing down here. I want you to write down the polynomial and then also the words that polynomial represents. And then task 3C, it says, explain how polynomials demonstrated the closure property throughout this exploration. Well, look up closure property and see if you can explain that to me. It's not a real important topic, but go ahead and do your best to explain it. I hope this helps on task 3. I'll try to make some more videos for other chapters later on. Anyway, see you next time.